Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the XL variant of Espurr level 51 with Energy Ball. And this is something that nobody knows. Like, nobody knows this Pokemon, and there are quite a lot of Pokemon that are currently weak against grass type moves. So let's dive right into it. Today we're going to have a lot of fun battles coming up here with Espurr, as this Pokemon actually has a great moveset. Like, we have Confusion doing a lot of damage against a lot of Pokemon in the current meta. We're going to have the Psyshock being basically the best non-Psy-Strike Psychic type move, I would say, to get, because the cheapest one, we actually need like some better Psychic type moves, I would say. And then we're going to have Energy Ball, which is a great coverage in the current meta. We're going to run a team here of the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead, the Sazop of Sableye to bait out a potential Lickitung, to bait out anything that kinda is like a dark type, because dark types are very tough for Espurr to deal with, basically impossible to deal with. So that's kind of the reason for this Pokemon here. What is also great with the Sazop here of the Sableye is that you're going to be able to bait out something like a Skarmory, which is very, very good for us, because against Skarmory as well, any kind of Steel-type Pokemon, any kind of Dark-type Pokemon we cannot deal with our Espurr, so we kind of need to get rid of them. We kind of need to bait out them here as well, which we can do with our Sableye. And so basically the core of Sableye plus our lead of the Galarian Stunfisk is a perfect core, as you're going to be able to see what they're going to have in the back here. We're going to swap out into our Espurr, and as you can see, we kind of chunk them away with the Confusion. We actually can take a move, as you're gonna see here as well. We have quite okay bulk, not like the craziest, but a very decent amount of bulk. As you can see, we can farm them down, go for a Psyshock against the opponent's Charger Bug, and let's see if we can win the CMP tie against them. We should be able to do so, and we can not. And I don't know, I think this must be like somewhat of a bug, or like the opponent got like the move of, I don't know, like, I don't think that this is supposed to happen, but we're still going to be able to win this game. The Charger Bug has 113 attack, while Espurr has no, that's a different one. Espurr has the same attack, actually. That's kind of wild. So, like, they actually have the exact same amount of attack, which is really interesting to see. I thought I was, like, kind of way higher for our Espurr, so they have exactly the same, but of course I have a best buddied, so they mostly have, like, 1 or 2 attack on their Charger Bug. Otherwise, you're going to see here again the opponent swapping into their Pokemon that we really want to get out here with the Skarmory, which is great. And also, we're gonna see here that we can get them insanely low to try to farm them down later on with my Galarian Stunfisk. They can still go ahead and go for a Brave Bird, but we will take it. We can align ourselves. We can see what the opponent tries to do here. We will see that the opponent decides to go into, let's see, it is going to be the Annihilape. And so maybe Espurr actually has some play here. And this is something which I kind of find a little bit sad about Espurr. Espurr just doesn't have the crazy confusion damage because it's not a shadow Pokemon. I feel like if Espurr would be a shadow Pokemon, it had like so much more play in the current meta, just because it would just be able to farm down things a little bit easier. So I'm actually going to check on the side right quick on how much the shadow would improve, but I feel like it would improve quite a bit. Especially, I guess, something like an Annihilape does definitely improve the matchup. But still, we can get to those Psyshocks kind of easily. We're gonna get them low. We have them insanely low now, but sadly the extra Confusion is not going to take any damage of the opponent here. If that came through, we would have been able to definitely win the game. It's still not over, but we have to basically farm them down here with Mudshot, which is not going to work out. They can still go for a charge move. And so, sadly, this will be a very close game, but it's going to be a good game no matter what. Next opponent, we're going to have here in the lead, the Cresselia. Cresselia is going to be a very okay one for us, but they swap out into the Talonflame, allowing me to go straight for my Rock Slide, which is double super effective against them. And as nobody's really running the Galarian Stunfisk anymore, I kinda did not know how this matchup is going to be now, because Incinerate got buffed, so it does more damage against us. If they can farm me down now, I'm not too sure about it, and so we have to see if this is going to be the case. As you can see, the opponent goes on another charge move here. If this is going to be another Flame Charge, we're going to be in trouble, but it's going to be a Fly, which is actually good for us, because now we guarantee survive the next Incinerate. I am not sure if they can farm me down, otherwise if they went for the Flame Charge, I'm fairly certain I would have been able to do so, but yeah, like this, they can, and so that's kinda great for me. They can farm me down here though, which is going to be okay for me because I can go back into my Sableye. Sableye will take the charge move. Usually they're running Future Sight, but this one is not. They are running the Moonblast, and I'm still going to be forced to go for a foul play to do a lot of damage, because our Espurr is not going to have a great time against the opponent's Cresselia if they're at full health. And so I decided to swap out into my little buddy, and we have to hope that there's something in the back that we can deal with. Oh, look at this, it's a Whiscash. Oh, look at this, it's an Energy Ball. And this is going to be double super effective. Bye-bye, goodbye there. Espurr is going to completely destroy you here, as the opponent still tries to knock me out, but no, they decide to forfeit instead. You see already how much fun this Pokemon is, but of course, to be a little bit clearer about it as well here, I went a total of 7 and 7 with this team. There was one game which I didn't count towards where I also brought a Galarian Stunfisk with Metal Claw and Rock Slide instead of the one that I'm actually using here right now, so that was smart by me. So I don't really count this battle, but yeah, I went 7 and 7 with it, so we went kind of equal. And I actually went 4 and 1 in my final set, so maybe if I played this a little bit longer, I would have been even a little bit better with it, because there are quite a lot of matchups that you have to play a little bit more, I don't know, like not straightforward. For example, the matchup against the Lanturn here can be a little bit tricky for the Galarian Stunfisk, even though we have the ground typing, and they have of course the water typing against us as well. We can go for one Earthquake here, which is going to go undercharged actually, so I can get some more energy. But one other issue which I felt like was kind of something that, I don't know, was not really representing the team too well is that I encountered, I think, like 3 or 4 double dark backlines today, and this was basically impossible to win. So not too sure how many of those battles are going to be in here. Of course, this is going to be a spice showcase, so we're going to showcase mainly the most interesting battles and not the battles where I got completely hard-walled. At least, like, not all of them, some still going to be in here. So just to be sure about this, I went 7 and 7 with this team, so nobody is like thinking, oh my god, Espurr is going to be the best Pokemon ever. I felt like I was a little bit unlucky with some matchups as well, but still, Espurr had a lot of fun. You know what's also going to be fun here with Espurr against a Venusaur? We are still bulky enough to survive those Vine Whips, and based on the Vine Whip damage, I know this Frenzy Plant is not going to knock us out. We can still go for a Psyshock and we can say goodbye to them, as this is going to be a game over for the opponent. Bye bye there. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have the Whiscash in the lead. Pretty bad for us. We can swap out here immediately into our Sableye just to most likely get hit by a Scald here before they swap out, because Scald has the chance of debuffing us, making the matchup way better for them. It is going to come through, but it does not get the debuff, which is actually going to be great, as I can now go ahead and go for a foul play. But this is not going to be a great matchup in general for us, because the opponent's Mantine can still take a move here. Maybe I should try to go up for one return, but I don't think I would have been able to reach that in time, for sure not. So I guess it was the correct play. A lot of Mantine currently running Water Pulse over the Ice Beam, and this is going to be the case here as well. So we are forced to go straight for the Rock Slide. They would have had another charge move already, but they decided to not throw it for whatever reason. But we can now align ourselves and see what they're going to have in the back. We're gonna get into our Espurr. They're gonna swap immediately into their Skeledirge, and having a 4-turn fast move against a 5-turn fast move is actually really great for us. As you're gonna see now, we can align our fast moves perfectly together here, as we can go for the Psyshock. This is going to be able to force a shield from the opponent, and so we can try to reach another one. But yeah, we're actually gonna be able to reach another one here as well, which is going to be great fast move timing for us, as this is going to get shielded as well. I try my best to get as much energy here as possible, and I hope that I can swap out after this charge move. I'm forced to keep my Espurr alive, but sadly I was not able to swap out in time, and so sadly the opponent is going to be able to go for another Disarming Voice, and so this game is sadly over. They can go for another Scald. This is going to be it for that one, or like even a Mud Bomb is going to be enough to knock us out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Here we're gonna see the Magnezone in the lead, and they decide to stay in, and I have no idea why. They're gonna swap out now into the Azumarill. Like, why do you not go into the Azumarill a little bit earlier? I can weaken them up a little bit with the Earthquake, and now we can swap out into my Espurr, which just needs to hit one more Energy Ball in order to knock them out. As we can see, our fast move is sneaking through here, which is lovely. As the Ice Beam is coming through, we can easily take one of them, as we can try to reach for that Energy Ball. Energy Ball easily would knock out the opponent, and it does knock out the opponent as they swap back most likely into their Steel and Electric type here of the Magnezone. Let's see, yeah, it's coming back in here. Magnezone is going to be able to go for a charge move. I think a Mirror Shot might be enough already. It is actually enough, which is kind of wild, because Mirror Shot is not really a great move. But you know what's great is that they're going to have the Annihilape in the back, and we're going to be able to counter this pretty easily here with our Sableye. Our only lose con is if they go for the Shadow Ball and it goes unshielded. So like this, we can guarantee us winning this game. The opponent still tries to play it out. I don't know really why, because there's literally nothing that the opponent can do here. Even if we would see P-tie or anything, it doesn't matter. They have no chance of winning this game. They decide to go for the Shadow Ball again. Have fun with that, because now we can just go for either foul play, or they're going to go for a wild charge and we farm them down. There's nothing they can do really. Like here, we can just go for the full Mud Shot down, and we can move on to the next opponent. This opponent actually decided to quit Pokemon Go because of this battle, so let's take a look at this one. We're gonna be able to go ahead and go into our Sableye after losing the lead pretty hard here against the opponent's Gallagher. So they decided to swap out into the Scummy, falling right into our trap to get out the Pokemon that we don't want to face here with our Espurr in the back. So that's going to be lovely for us. The foul play is coming through. We can still reach for another foul play, even if they're going to survive this one. I am totally happy about this because, yeah, now Espurr has a little bit more play. We get some energy here as well on our Galarian Stunfisk. It's going to be most likely the Brave Bird. All fine for me. Everything works basically according to my plan. So what we can do now is we can swap out into our Espurr as well as the opponent swaps into the Annihilape. I can get some free fast move damage in, and this might come in clutch later on. So Night Stitch coming through, we're gonna be able to use a shield, and in comes the Gligar. We still do a lot of damage with our Confusion as we can go for the first Psyshock, which is going to force a shield from the opponent. As you're gonna see here as well, I can use a shield as well. If it's going to be a Dig, this would be great for us. It is going to be the Aerial Ace, which is still okay, as I can reach for another charge move here, as it's going to be a CMP tie. We see that the opponent is going to decide to go ahead and use a shield, which is totally fine for me. They can go for the Dig now to knock me out if they want to. Have fun with that, because now we can overfarm by quite a bit with my Galarian Stunfisk, knock them out with one Rock Slide here. This is going to be great, as now we just have to try to reach for one Earthquake. Hopefully it's going to be enough after the Earthquake nerf to knock out the opponent's Annihilape, and it is goodbye there, good game there, and we can move on to the next opponent. Lanturn in the lead. Again, like honestly, this matchup is kind of an awkward one, because if you want to go straight for the Earthquake, that is great for you. You guarantee either the knockout or the shield. But if you go for the Rock Slide and the opponent uses a shield, you're going to be in a way better spot, because the matchup is kind of close anyway. So basically, every time I decided to go for a Rock Slide, the opponent was able to no shield, and every time I tried to go for an Earthquake, the opponent was able to use a shield on it, so that was lovely. So here I decided to still swap out, as you're gonna get out the Lickitung. This is exactly how this team is supposed to work. We try to get out the Lickitung for this team, which is going to be great, as we can now go ahead and go for a double foul play, maybe even triple if the opponent doesn't throw, but they decide to throw here anyway. It is going to be just the Body Slam though, and so we can take another charge move, and we're actually gonna go up to a Return. Return does a little bit more damage than one foul play, so this is going to be great, as it's going to connect against the opponent, putting them into a farm down range most likely. But I still, I think, have to go for a Rock Slide in order to knock them out. We can take a Power Whip as we try to go up. Actually, we're gonna go into our Espurr now, keeping our energy. This might be actually crucial for later. Body Slam coming through, we can let this move go through as well. We still have 2 shields, the opponent still has 2 shields. It's going to be a Shadow Victory Bell in the back. But remember, we have 2 Rock Slides stored, and so we can go for one Psyshock, force the first shield from the opponent, and now we just have to go for 2 back-to-back Rock Slides. Still, the Razor Leaf is coming through, and this is going to be a little bit more tricky, because Razor Leaf is just going to do a little bit more damage than, for example, the Magical Leaf does. But we can still go for another Rock Slide, knock them out, and can we still reach the Earthquake in time? They're forced to go for the Spark Down. Is it going to be enough? We can actually still reach the Earthquake, and with this, the opponent's Lanturn is gonna go down, and we can move on to the final battle for today. Alolan Ninetales in the lead, and honestly, I think the opponent actually was also a Spice Out. Yeah, I remember this battle here. Good thing that this is going to be in here as well. We're going to have the Sudowoodo against us. So what a Spice Out this is. We're going to see the Rock Slide coming through. I was a little bit scared of a potential Media Beam on Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo actually is a fun Pokemon to use. It has Counter, it has Rock Slide, it has Earthquake, it has Media Beam. Quite a lot of play in against like a lot of Pokemon as well. So yeah, here we're going to see the Rock Slide doing quite a lot of damage, but we have to hope that we can go for the back-to-back foul play here basically. First foul play coming through. Can we still reach another one in time? We can by 1 HP, and so we have shield advantage, we have switch advantage, we have a hard counter to his lead, and we have to see what they have in the back. It's going to be an Alomomola, which means Espurr is going to have great time with the energy ball here. Let's see what we can do here. The opponent swaps out into the Ninetales, allowing me to go back into my Galarian Stunfisk, and so this is looking really well for us, or like really great for us in general, as we can go for the double Rock Slide. Double Rock Slide should knock them out. One Rock Slide does around 50% of the opponent's health, and so we will see them going for another charge move. Totally fine for me. Weather Ball, totally okay, but now we can just try to go for another Rock Slide. This is going to take the knockout against the opponent's Alolan Ninetales here, which is going to be lovely. As you're going to see here in the back again, the Alomomola coming back in. We can go for a Rock Slide to kind of weaken them a little bit, shipping them into the range where one Energy Ball hopefully is going to seal the deal here. Energy Ball coming through from the little boy again. Espurr is going to get the knockout with one more Confusion. As you can see here, we actually went 4-1 in the final set, so hopefully you enjoyed the little bit more of a spicier content here. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.